everybody. Today we're starting the new season for the Success Story Show. And we have booked and scheduled amazing ladies, amazing people, beautiful inside and outside. But also these ladies that we're going to be interviewing in all these seasons are successful not just because of the accomplishments they made, but also because of the power and the empowerment and the motivation that they can transmit to you. That's the idea of the show, to learn more about how we can improve, how we can be in a balance physically, mentally, how we can manage all these different activities that we have every day. So today is today actually is a special day because I have a special guest. She's originally from New Orleans, but now she lives in Chicago. So before I start talking to her, I want to read more about her so you can understand the power of success this guest has for us, and also all the advice and empowerment that we're going to receive in this. Please also keep in mind that all my guests for this season are going to be recipients of our Successful Women in Business Award, the event that is going to take place in November in Miami, Florida. So you don't want to miss this event. It's going to be it's a sold out event. We're going to have 3 days of amazing activities. You don't want to miss it. Again, if you want to learn more about the convention, visit our website, www.100swb.com. And then when you click there, it's going to take you to different places. Get in place with the convention, Women in the Convention, and see how you can participate. We have several options for you. You can attend for free to the expo and conferences, but also we have other activities. And of course, the last day, we're going to have the recognition of successful women in business like my guest, and that's going to take place the last day. You don't want to miss that. Again, visit our website to learn more about it. Now, going back to the bio, I want to introduce my guest. She's a visionary leader and at the intersection of technology, design, and innovation, a former EMT turned award-winning UX engineer and creative entrepreneur. She has been nationally recognized for her groundbreaking contributions to tech, design, and the arts. She has been featured in Yahoo Finance, honored with a public mural in Atlanta for her impact on the tech industry, featured in over 5 publications for her journey in tech, and she is the recipient of awards such as the Global Recognition Award and the 21st Century Emily Dickinson Award. Her journey from overcoming the devastation of Hurricane Katrina, remember, to becoming a celebrated figure in STEM embodies the power of resilience, creativity, and purpose-driven innovation. Beyond her work in technology, she is also the founder of Dija, her business and Etsy store that blends spiritual wellness with creativity, offering handcrafted oils, manifestation tools, and unique designs that empower others to align with abundance and transformation. So this is my guest, Deja Craft. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so excited about you being on our show, but also especially when I'm reading the bio, it's fascinated how you are multitask and I will say also multi-industry, coming from the tech and then also doing now entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
You're an entrepreneur and going to a product that are not necessarily related with the technology. But also I'm very happy that I have a successful person with me today that is making an impact in the tech industry and now making an impact with us, the entrepreneurs. So welcome again, Deja. Tell us more about how you started all this in the industry. You were mentioning about the school that you went to school. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, so originally, I am from New Orleans, of course, and then we moved to Atlanta after Hurricane Katrina. So that was pretty devastating for me. It was something that I guess I didn't understand how bad it really was until I realized we were just never going back. Everything was pretty much destroyed. So from that point on, I did struggle in school a little bit. I found out that I had ADHD, so it was really hard for me to be able to kind of keep up with concepts. And I didn't do the best in school in the beginning stages, but I did kind of get a good grip on it and kind of understand a little bit better learning techniques for me and how I could kind of prepare myself better for my classes. And so I ended up going to a software engineering boot camp, and this was after my stint as an EMT. My original thought was, hey, I'm going to go into the medical field, and it just was something that I did do for a little while, but it was very emotionally draining for me. And so I felt like tech could kind of be a better way for me. So I did end up going to a software engineering program, and then I graduated with one of the highest grades in that cohort. And that's actually the program that did the mural of me in Atlanta. And then from that point on, I just kind of kept growing and getting better positions, and really just trying to show, women especially, that you can be in tech, you can be in whatever field. Tech is a very male dominated field, so I'm always happy to see other women, and especially minority women, in fields like that. And so anything I can do to kind of get my story out there to hopefully encourage someone else, and that's what I try to do.
Excellent. Excellent. So you moved from New Orleans to what city?
We moved from New Orleans to Atlanta. That was the first place. And then actually just about a year, maybe 2 years ago, my partner and I, we moved to Chicago together. We just wanted to get out of the South and chose Chicago.
Oh, okay. So now you're moving from different cities. So you are multi-industry, multi-city. I love it. I love it, Dija. So I'm impressed to the fact that you're very young. You're an young entrepreneur, and you are keep accomplishing things in life. This is gonna be your fourth or fifth award, and you are only 29. You said.
Yes, I'll be 29 in January.
Okay, wow. Okay, so when you talk about the tech industry, you are more focused on what is your strength in technology? Is like a web developer, you're more like a security. Tell us more about that part.
Yeah, so I'm more so in user experience design, which is basically front end development. So all of the designs you see on a website or the designs you see on an app, that's pretty much what I do as a user experience or front end development engineer. I'm the one that kind of makes everything look pretty and make sure it works on the front end, and then all the hard part. So that's in the back end. I don't deal with it, but anything you see forward facing, that's what a UX engineer basically does, and kind of enhances the experience the user has with the product.
Gotcha. And then you started your company how long ago?
I started Dija last year. Originally, I kind of started off doing tech career consultations, just helping others get into that tech side. But I am a very spiritual person. Of course, I'm from New Orleans, so whatever people think about that. But I did realize that people were really resonating with and very interested in that spiritual side of me. I think there's a lot more people now kind of being spiritual or being spiritually open to different things. And so I was like, well, this is something that I'm really into. This is something that I do. And I started my Etsy store, just for spiritual empowerment, honestly, and self-empowerment. And I didn't think it would be as successful as it got, but I'm very grateful that it did. And so I love helping people, whether that be through career or their spiritual journey. I'm just someone that enjoys helping and empowering the next generation of individuals.
All right. So what is your company about? When you mentioned spiritual, you sell some products. It's more like a service.
Yeah, it's just products. So it's maybe like a prayer oil. Like maybe you want to, put a nice oil on your hands. There's different oils that kind of correspond to certain prayers that's kind of like said in the Bible. There's like frankincense and myrrh and things like that like really resonated with certain energies. So for me, within my spiritual practice, I kind of incorporate that and make these oils that have these scents that are kind of incorporated into or with certain energies for abundance or empowerment or protection or whatever it is. And I kind of mix different herbs and things, and then I'll say a prayer over it. And it's been doing very well thus far.
Oh, that's impressive. So you made the oil. You made it.
Yes, by hand.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
Thank
So
you.
when you say that spirituality is like you combine different elements when you say plants or whatever is ingredient, based on what? Like you want to project positive energy or health?
Yes.
Tell me more details about the type of products you have and for what specific, let's say, consume.
So for me, it's just like going through certain portions and possibly like the Bible or some others, spiritual book if some people don't resonate with that. And I'm a very big book reader. I probably have my own library in here. I have multiple books. So I'm a big bookworm. I love to learn about history and what things were done prior to, now, and what did our ancient ancestors do? What did they believe in? And so and I think being from New Orleans, I'm a very colorful person, very, I have my own aesthetic, and spirituality was something that, you kind of brought up in when you live in a place like that. I mean, I know everyone thinks of hauntedness and things like that, but it really is, just a beautiful city. And I like to kind of add that touch into my products and my services and really in my life, period. So when I make my oils, I am channeling that energy. I'm channeling just, as much positivity as I possibly can. And they do smell good too. I make sure they smell good. And it's been doing very, very well thus far. And so tech is, of course, my career, but I'm sorry.
Something that everything is organic.
Yes. So tech is, of course, the career side of myself, but the spiritual side of me is actually my business, my baby, that's what I hold on to.
So I know that you mentioned at the beginning of the interview that you already went through a big challenge, which is, going to this devastation with Katrina,
Mm.
and then you were forced to move because there was nothing there, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
That's for me the first challenge that you face in your life, probably at your young age. I don't know how old you were in that time. But after that, when you decide to move forward, and even now that you started your company, what challenges you have you faced in your life?
Yeah, I think that was probably the biggest one. I would also say that was probably the catalyst for changing everything. At the time, I was only 8, so I really didn't understand how serious it really was. And at the time, my mother was actually working in a hospital. And when you are an emergency worker or any type of someone in the hospital, you're actually not allowed to leave. So during the hurricane and everything was happening, my mom was stuck in the hospital and could not go anywhere. And I hadn't heard from her for hours. So at that point, I was thinking, okay, well, now I've lost my mom. I don't have a mom anymore. And at 8, how do you kind of maneuver that? And so at that point, I think I just anybody would do. I went to sleep. I just went to sleep hoping it would be a dream. And luckily, when I woke up, I found out that my mom was alive. She did make it out. But of course, our home, everything was just totally destroyed. And I think that transition and being able to go through something like that at a young age made me very strong. It made me very resilient, and it made me open to change. I don't feel like it was a beautiful thing at all that it happened, but I will say that if it did not happen, it wouldn't have brought me to this place. So in a way, there was some blessings associated with it, but I think that because of that, I am able to kind of maneuver through challenges and through life challenges a lot more gracious than I probably would have if something like that didn't happen to me.
Absolutely. What challenges you see that not only you, but in general, entrepreneurs go through, especially when they want to do online business?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing, even for myself, having a platform, it's starting. Just starting is nerve-wracking. I think that you have all these different thoughts in your head and you're like, well, what if this goes wrong? What if this goes wrong? Well, how do I do this? And so a lot of the times, just starting it is the hard part. Once it's started, you can at least kind of move forward and make changes and pivot as you see fit. But I think even for myself, being who I am and as spiritual as I am, and everyone knows about that, I was still afraid. I was like, what if people, don't really resonate with this? What if they think I'm doing something I have no business? So I think a lot of the times it's that overthinking that stops us from pursuing our dreams or pursuing our goals. And I actually overthought myself into not doing it for a long time. And then my partner, he was like, you really should just start this business and see where it goes. And so I did, and I'm happy. But I do think overthinking is a huge challenge, and not, wanting to put ourselves out there, because you never know what someone's going to say, how they're going to act. And you don't know how someone's going to react to your business or your product or your service. And so overthinking and just being afraid to kind of put yourself out there is a very big challenge, even for me still.
Yeah, especially online is a very competitive industry,
Yeah.
e-commerce. Everybody wants to put the product there, and it's challenging in terms of how you promote your brand, and how people can get actually how they can find you. So, what is the in the terms of marketing? What marketing are you building or you're doing for your, to be noticed in the e-commerce?
Yeah, so I actually started a YouTube channel to kind of document my journey, and that's been doing very well. But I also market mainly on things like channels that people really know me in or talk to me in a lot. So there's certain like spiritual communities on Facebook where, I talk to a lot of other individuals who are like myself, who, they don't conform specifically to a religion, but they do still believe in, higher powers or whatever the case may be. So, when you find your community to work with, it does make it a lot easier. So for me, I market a lot in those groups on Facebook, but I do like Facebook ads as well. It's an Etsy store, so I let Etsy run certain ads as well for me, so I can see, are their ads doing better, or are the ads that I'm putting out doing better? I have an Instagram, so I promote there as well. Wherever you can, just drop your advertising. I will put a sticker with my QR code in an elevator somewhere. Like I will do it. At this point, I'm just like, whatever happens, happens. But it is
I
marketing
love
at its finest.
right now. This is your full-time job, your company, and
Hmm.
you're on the side.
I'm so say it again. You broke up a little bit.
The company that you started is your full-time job right now, or you are doing something else.
No, it's my full time job. I mean, I'm in school still, but I'll be done in December. But after that, I plan to continue on with this business and grow it as best I can.
I love it. And that's actually my next question. Where you see yourself in 10 years?
Oh, wow. I don't even think I've thought about 10. Maybe five I've thought about, but 10, I have
Oh,
no
okay,
idea.
let's do five.
10 would be great though. I do need a 10-year plan. So I'm glad you asked me that. But 5 years, I do plan to still continue with my education. I want to complete my master's degree. That's just a personal enrichment for me. It's not necessarily just to get a job, but I would like to, get my master's degree, and then I would prefer for Etsy to really be my full-time business, and that's what I'm doing. That's my full-time income. And then probably still dabbling with YouTube and seeing how that goes. It's been pretty well. It's something that I'm very new to. I'm not very good at putting myself out there in front of the camera and things like that. So I'm still learning, but
You're doing
I
great
would
right now.
thank you. So I'm learning and learning the ropes. So I would like to grow my YouTube channel as well as, having my Etsy store up, and for sure have graduated with my master's degree. And if there's a job that I find that I really love and I really want to take it, then I would like to have that option. But I really would prefer Etsy. Just, it's my passion, it's my love. So I would prefer my income come from my passion and what I love to do.
I love it. So one of the key words here, passion. You need to have a passion of what you do. And
Hmm.
you mentioned several times Etsy, which is a platform. It's like a similar to what eBay. What is Etsy?
Yeah, so Etsy is like, let's call it like Amazon, but for creative. So if you create like any handmade item, or you just want to have your own store, really selling anything legal, you can sell it on Etsy. So it's pretty much like it's an e-commerce platform, but for, sellers to come on and sell their own creative things or handmade things or anything that's kind of, out there, candles, whatever. But it's a lot like Amazon, but more so just for sellers to kind of have their own platforms to sell, and you can create whatever you want on there and kind of sell your own items.
What recommendations you can provide for people that want to start a business, especially online, since you are right now in that industry, or perhaps people that is also in the same, sector like the oil, the wellness, or spiritual. So, what can you recommend about businesses? How they can start, what they should avoid doing that perhaps you did, and what they should be doing that you did and it worked.
I would say try to, always make your product unique in some way, even if, it's just your packaging. The way I package my orders, I always have some cute thing in there or some cute thank you note. Just do something to kind of add a little special touch to anything you do, because that's what's going to kind of bring people to you when you're not just like everyone else or every other item. There's something about you that's drawing others to you. So I would say, even if it's just a small, you contact, your buyers and say, hey, I just want to say thank you for purchasing from me. Like, that's something that, Etsy is heavily, dependent on reviews. And so you want to try to make sure you're doing everything to keep your clients happy, which you should do anyway. But, you're more likely to get that good feedback if you're putting it out and they see, oh, wow, this person's really trying to, make sure my customer experience is a great one. And that's something that user experience, that's what I'm good at. And so I would say definitely always try to just have some little touch that's you incorporated in it. Don't try to follow everyone. And I would say the main thing that you shouldn't do, don't compare yourself. If I looked at the top Etsy sellers and then I looked at myself, I would be thinking like, oh my goodness, I'm so far behind. But you don't want to compare yourself, because then you kind of lose who you are. And the reason people may be coming to you or purchasing for you, your service, your product, whatever, it's something about you. So you don't want to lose that unique edge. So comparing yourself to others and looking at what another, seller may be doing and trying to mimic, it's just kind of stick to your lane and just believe in yourself, your product. You started it for a reason. So just keep going with it. And I have to remind myself of that all the time, not to look at the top sellers and I'm like, man, when am I going to get there? It's just be patient, let it come. Don't try to force anything. Just let it happen naturally. The more organic it is, I think that's the better.
And actually, you already mentioned a big strategy, which is having a target audience, and your target, you mentioned, is the same community
Mm-hmm.
already who you are, but also being involved with different groups that are related with that industry. That's a very good start. Like a
Mm-hmm.
concept to say, okay, what I'm going to start? I have this idea about what I start. What should I do? So you are already in the right path, and without even noticing, you are doing marketing. You're doing, you are segmenting
Mm-hmm.
target audience, and you are out there all the time. Another thing that I like what you said is about being yourself. Like,
Yeah.
don't try to copycat somebody because you don't know if it's going to work or not for you. And I did
Mm-hmm.
that before, especially when you're doing social media and you're trying to generate content, like
Yeah.
try to be
Yeah.
yourself. So otherwise, you're not going to engage with an audience. And that's a very, powerful message if you are yourself, right?
Yeah. Social media will have you thinking you should be this way or it should, and it's like, come on, social media is not always the full raw behind the scenes. If you don't know what someone's done to get there, what they're doing now. So it's always better to just be on your own path. Don't try to be on the outside looking in and snatch from someone else. Just be on your own path.
Well, I hope that you can bring some samples for me because I'm eager to to see
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
products. And of course, I'm very excited to have you as a recipient this year. Very happy that you're coming from Chicago, but original from New Orleans. We're gonna have a multicultural convention, but also I'm gonna say multinational because people is coming from so many cities this
Yes,
year.
I'm
We have
excited.
a high participation from several cities in the U.S. And I'm very glad of that. I'm very glad that we're going to be able to connect women, entrepreneurs, and that the idea is also to build relationships. So congratulations again for all your accomplishments, Deja. You're going to have a biggest accomplishment this year as a successful entrepreneur during the Women in Business Convention. A few words that you want to say before we finish the interview.
Thank you so much. I'm actually very excited. This is my first gala ever, so I'm really excited to attend. And something that I did think about, just, someone actually asked the question and I saw it again. And someone asked, like, what was success or how do you measure success? So I would say, please, like, everyone needs to realize, like, it's not about money. I really do think success is just the positive impact you leave behind. How many people did you touch? So if I don't leave any other message, I really want people to understand that success really isn't measured just in financial values or how much you have. I really think it's just how many souls did you touch? How many people, did you positively impact through your work? And if you've just touched one person, then you should consider yourself successful.
Beautiful words. I love it. I can't believe how smart and successful you are already at this young age. And when I see people like you, because I already started when I was 17, my first business, 17 years old. So back then, nobody believed on young entrepreneurs. Now we're
Mm-hmm.
offering more and more to millennials, to Generation Z, and you are super powerful because you have all the knowledge, technology, the tech, but also the real life. So you are in the perfect time at the perfect space. So congratulations again. Super excited to see you soon in person here in Miami. And otherwise, That's gonna be a very great event.
Thank you so, so much. And thank you for having me again.
Thank you, Dija. Take care. See you
You
soon.
too.
And for everybody, remember our upcoming big convention, the 100 Successful Women in Business Award and Convention is going to take place this upcoming November, the 4th, 5th, and 6th. You don't want to miss it, in Miami, Florida. So I hope to see you there. Again, visit our website, www.100swb.com. Thank you. See you next time.